It does not matter the scope. It does not matter the scale. If there is a human tragedy, Don the Con will find a way to grift off of it. Because with Trump, we're talking about a guy who grifts first and has Republicans spin later. Now he's going to grift on the country's air traffic control. And are we really surprised? I mean, look, we're talking about a turd of a man who is so greedy and so callous that he proposed ethnic cleansing so that his son-in-law could build high-rise oceanfront condos. I mean, take a really close look at the expression on Susie Wiles' face when Trump tried to float that grift. She's clearly thinking, WTFA. And then she's thinking, how on earth are we going to spin that? So if Trump can grift on a scale that large, what's one little plane crash to him? It was only January 29th when the American Airlines flight crashed into an Army Black Hawk helicopter, killing everyone on board of both. The airplane contained several members of U.S. figure skating, their families, and coaches. And yet, by the next day, with bodies still being recovered from the water, Trump went on national television and blamed the tragedy on DEI.
The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bullshit. The Department of Transportation, his government agency charged with regulating civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity.
Right there, on the spot, Caitlin Collins called him out on it.
You don't even yet know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane? You think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families?
They are
a
group of people that have lost their lives.
And then more fact-checking and more fact-checking followed.
And all of this was in place during Trump's first term. His administration even announced a pilot program to help prepare people with disabilities for careers in air traffic operations. That's because the problem has never been about letting in or keeping out certain kinds of people. It's been that there aren't enough people involved.
So now, lo and behold, Trump is no longer talking about DEI as the cause of the crash. And is that because he's been caught lying? No. He's on a new path, blaming technology. But Trump wants to now blame technology, not because he's been corrected, but because he's interested in something bigger than political points: profit. That's right, the grift is in, and Trump wants to replace the software system for air traffic control. Take a listen.
But bells and whistles would have gone off. They have them where it actually could virtually turn the thing around. It would have just never happened if we had the right equipment. And one of the things that's going to be, I'm going to be speaking to John and to Mike and to Chuck and to everybody. We have to get together and just, as a single bill, just pass where we get the best control system. When I land in my plane, privately, I use a system from another country because my captain tells me, I'm landing in New York and I'm using a system. I won't tell you what country, but I use a system from another country because the captain says this thing is so bad, it's so obsolete, and we can't have that. So we're going to have the best system, and a lot of money, but it's not that much money. And it'll happen fast, and it'll be done by total professionals. And when it's done, you're not going to have accidents. It's just not, they're virtually not possible to have.
So here we are again, listening to a rambling idiot, only this time, it's not just the stupidity of a demented old turd who wears a diaper. This is the opening spin for a grift, and it has all the classic Trump Carnival Barker talking points. Way better, virtually not possible. Trump is always hawking the biggest and the brightest. You know, like the Taj Mahal. And Trump, It's almost like he's a huckster and a terribly stupid businessman. I mean, what would you call a business model where you overpay and then have no idea about pricing? But here's the real kicker. Where are we going to get this new system from? Well, here's one clue. Secretary of Transportation and Complete Fraud Sean Duffy posted this. Big news! Talk to the Doge team. They're going to plug in to help upgrade our aviation system. Yep, you guessed it. Elon Musk is going to be upgrading our aviation system. And now we know why Trump was just saying that Elon is going to monitor his own conflict of interests. But here is the really scary thing about this story. Does Musk's SpaceX company have flight tracking software? Yes, it does. And admittedly, it's probably pretty good. But it's designed to track one rocket. It is not designed to track every single plane in the sky and report that data to a series of computers that are interfaced and ready to hand off data and control. But an ego the size of Elon Musk is just going to think, a few mods here and a couple of hacks there will take care of that, and he'll put it in place without 10 minutes worth of beta testing. And then the planes will literally be falling out of the sky from all the crashes. Not to worry, though. It will all be the fault of DEI. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.